friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I am broadcasting live from the ruins of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. The Empire's done some nice work to get it, looking presentable. But today, I am talking about none other than Thrawn Ascendancy, Chaos Rising, the latest book to be written and developed by the man, the myth, the legend, Timothy Zhan. Now, Timothy Zhan has created a novel that is one very interesting read. This book introduces and explores the unknown regions, or as the Chiss called it, the chaos, in a way that we haven't really seen before. And it's absolutely fascinating. We see the myth culture developed and explored again in a way that we really haven't seen a lot of cultures explored in the new canon specifically, but in Star Wars generally. This is brilliant. We see the Chiss in an entirely new light. We see Thrawn in a deeper light. Like, we see a new understanding of the Grand Admiral that we come to know and love. We explore this region of space that has not been explored. This is very much a Star Wars book, but in a way that isn't redundant, right? A lot of the stories that we get can feel like rehashings of old stories, or are just deeper understandings of things that we already know. This better understands, it creates an entirely new area of the galaxy that has, up until now, been unexplored. And it allows for a great opportunity for future Star Wars stories to be told. Now, I will say, guys, I've read this physically, which is something I typically don't do. Not only do I read, but I also have the book on audiobook. And I've been reading, I've been listening to it, and it is wonderful. The story takes place with about 19 years before the Battle of Yavin. It follows the life and career of Thrawn, right? It introduces us to Thrawn. It introduces us to a Admiral Aralani, and it watches his career and her career kind of take off. And it is absolutely fascinating. We see other members of the Chiss Ascendancy. We get to see inside the mind of a Skywalker and a former Skywalker, right? Now, if you remember from the original Thrawn trilogy, or the new original Thrawn trilogy, Skywalker is the name given to Chiss navigators who used the Force, essentially, to navigate the chaos, right? The unknown regions. Well, unknown to us, known to the Chiss. Now, we see the inner workings of the Chiss political system. We see Thrawn as a young man, as a young captain, as a young, awesome military genius. Now, if you thought Thrawn ruffled feathers in the Empires, oh my gosh, wait till you read this. He pisses everyone off left and right. Thrawn is either a great military mind, he's either going to be a great military leader, or he's going to be the downfall of the Chiss. For them, there's no middle ground, and there's people who don't like that. And it's absolutely fascinating. Now, one of the things that I've gone through, and I've watched a few reviews, and I've read a few reviews on the book. I've got to say that this book was difficult for me to find fault with. I absolutely loved it, but hearing other people's thoughts and ideas, I can kind of understand where people are coming from. One of the things that we've seen in other Star Wars, or one of the things we see in Star Wars Rebels, is a very, very destructive Thrawn. Like in the final trilogy, or the final story arc with Thrawn and Ezra, he's willing to bring down the wrath of the Empire on the people of Lothal. That's not necessarily the Thrawn that we see here, right? You don't see a Thrawn who's willing to sacrifice people. You actually see a Thrawn who's caring, compassionate even, towards alien species. Not that he necessarily views them as relevant. He just sees them as pawns or assets that the Chiss can use. But it's really, really interesting. So one of the things that there's a discrepancy kind of between the Thrawn and Star Wars Rebels and the Thrawn of this book. However, I do believe that we see the Thrawn from this book in the original trilogy, or this new trilogy that he had come out with, right? The previous 3 books of Thrawn, because you see Thrawn when he sees people as people, as legitimate, not willing to take lives without being necessary. And I think what we see in Star Wars Rebels is something, a Thrawn that's a little more calculating, right? I don't necessarily know. We shall see. But what I do have to say, that as much as I love the Thrawn in this book, and I absolutely do, I think that I just want more, and I cannot wait to get more. One of the things that I have heard in a few different times, I didn't really notice it until again I was watching a few reviews as to what people were saying. There is no our politics here, none, right? This book is entirely Star Wars. Now I'm sitting here in the United States, so for those of you who are out there, you don't get left versus right politics. You don't get good versus, well, you get good versus evil because that's Star Wars, but you don't get like any of the politics that have kind of divided the fandom up until now that we see throughout some of the other books. You don't get that here. You just get Thrawn, and it's wonderful, right? It is Star Wars. For those of you who left Star Wars fandom because of any outside political force, welcome back is all I have to say. And it is so flipping true. Now, as I said before, I bought this book. I'm listening to it on audio. When the paperback comes out like a year from now, I'll buy multiple copies for my classroom, for my friends, for my school library. I don't care. This is an amazing book. I will have the hardback. I will get the paperback. I love this book, and I cannot wait to read it again. Well, I'm listening to it again now. But what I've got to say, though, on a scale out of 5 stars, out of 5 Chiss fleet dreadnoughts, also really cool. They call them what do they call them in the book? Crate Dragon? No. Snapdragon? I can't remember. Some kind of dragon class ship. It was awesome. On a scale from 5 out of 5, it gets 7, right? This is a great story. It's wonderful. It provides insight into the culture. It provides insight into where this is going. There is some overlap between the other Star Wars novels because this is a prequel. It does, kind of run into one of the 3 that we were introduced in the last couple of years. It is great. I cannot wait to read the next one. Absolutely excited. I hope it comes out tomorrow, but it won't, unfortunately. What do you guys think? If you've read the book, let me know. If you've left the canon and you want to try a free copy of this, join in the link below. There's a link to a free Audible. You can try it out for 100% free. Have I said it's free? It's free, right? Sign up. You get 1 free Audible link. Try it out with Audible, and if you don't like it, cancel your subscription, right? You keep the book and you get a trial. Now, if you have read it, please leave it in the section. Please leave a comment in the section below. What do you think of the book? Give me your thoughts. There are some major hints to what is coming and what has happened in the past. I am very excited to see so much more of these new books that are coming out because of this. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Like, subscribe, share. Check out the links in the section below for that free Audible book and for your free ticket to the Going Nerdy swag store. And as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.